So, a couple of words about soul and the subtle structure of human. But for a start, I want to remember all the known toy, a wooden doll called Russian Matryoshka. The classical nested doll consists of 7 wooden figures enclosed each other, and this is neither a toy, but the most real model of the human structure, which our ancestors invented to demonstrate it to their children. The smallest and strongest figure corresponds to a physical body of human, which is always to all. This is a dancer's body. The physical body gives us ability to live in a material world and to influence it. In a reflex state, it's just a human machine as an automatic program. But for a conscious personality, for a man of will, it's an amazing tool which makes it possible to act and evolve in the world of matter. The next body is etheric. It is slightly larger than the physical, but already significantly less dense. The etheric body is our vital forces and energy. In Vedic tradition and Hinduism, ethereal energy is called prana, in the Chinese tradition, ki energy, the energy of life. By the way, the etheric body can be seen. To do this, place your hand on a dark uniform background with dim side lighting. Focus your eyes 1 inch from your fingers and pay all your attention to lateral vision along the border of your fingers, and soon you will see a subtle luminescence along the contour of the fingers and hands. You can smoothly move them, and their luminescence will accurately repeat your movements. There is another way to see the aura. To do this, you need to place the object in an electric field of high frequency. This is so-called high-frequency photography method, patented by the Soviet inventor Semyon Davidovich Kирлиан. We will separately discuss the topic of why classical academicians are still stubbornly making poker faces and don't recognize the existence of an aura, ether, and technical devices for detecting them. Third body, astral. This is a body of emotions, feelings and experiences. The lowest level of emotional perception is associated with our picture of the world. If the expectation coincided with reality, we rejoice, if not upset. Thus, the event that caused the negative emotion makes us understand that our picture of the world is not adequate to reality, and we need to change something in ourselves. Here also the higher human bodies are connected, responsible for life values and tasks for this embodiment. At the highest level of emotional perception, when we make a decision that matches our life values, we experience joy and ease. By the way, a feeling of joy and ease is the most obvious sign of a correctly made faithful choice. The fourth nested doll is a mental body. This is the body of thought, plans, picture of the world or worldview. This is the mind that decides where to direct energy, that is attention. The mental body is extremely important because it is responsible for the awareness of everything. An open mind to the new, a willingness to perceive, to change is the key to our development and evolution. Thus, the physical, etheric, astral and mental bodies together constitute the soul of man, and alas, it is mortal, because its existence only makes sense in a certain incarnation. With each incarnation, a human soul is different, and this is quite logical, even obvious. Why? Think for yourself. As for the immortal spirit, it is composed of the three higher bodies of human. This, in a sense, is our personality on a universe scale, our true self, the storage of all life experience throughout all our incarnations. So the fifth nested doll is a causal body. This is the first body of the immortal spirit, and it is responsible for the events and circumstances that come into our lives and are necessary for the evolution of our spirit, a kind of conveyor of carrots and sticks motivating us to fulfill our true mission. Further is a butthole body. It's responsible for our true life values and the rules of the game by which we live, which we need to fulfill the mission to this embodiment. It is important to filter out our true values from any superfluous garbage that we acquire from other people or from society during our lives. Otherwise, this excess trash will take away from us the forces and energy that are so necessary to follow our path. And finally, our largest and most subtle body, the Atmanic. It contains information about the most important thing, about our mission, with which we came to this world. By the way, we ourselves have chosen this mission for yourselves. Cast aside values alien to you, go your own way. It's much easier to succumb to temptations and follow the passage of time, than to have the strength and will to resist them. Remember, only faithfulness to your true path, realization of all the potential put in us, makes us really happy. It will be appropriate here to remember the so-called personal space, which is more or less respected in Europe or North America and is completely ignored in Russia. Probably at least once in your life you have encountered the following situation. You're at the subway, there are not many people, new passengers come into the train, and one of them becomes 12 inches from you. It seems that the person is decent, dressed clean and tidy, smells normal, but it starts to annoy you unconsciously. Question why? He simply violated your personal space, because there was an external invasion of your subtle bodies. The situation is similar to the intersection of several electromagnetic fields. Now imagine what happens when you travel by public transport during rush hours. You're in full contact with all your bodies, and not with one person, but immediately with 5 to 6 closest. This explains the fact that if there is a particular evil individual in this crowd, then the whole crowd quickly rolls into a state of anger and negativity, and this even under the condition that the villain doesn't show any outwardly active actions, and all the processes occur inside his thoughts and emotions. Everything happens automatically. Any thought, idea and emotion is the energy of a certain frequency of vibration, and it is easily transmitted between the intersecting subtle bodies of people in the crowd. Therefore, mass crowds are energetically unhygienic and in general unnatural to human, but more on that another time. Thus, we examined all 7 human bodies, the 4 lower components of the mortal soul and the 3 upper components of the immortal spirit. In the next release, we will talk in more detail about how these bodies are formed, about the processes of birth and death of a human.